Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be revisiting the Twist Ties Project stamp and die kits from Art Impressions. I did a mini series of Art Impressions last year. I think it was kind of around this time, maybe almost spring. And one of the most favorite cards that I made was using one of their Twist Ties kind of designs with the two flamingos. I thought it was so cute. I'll put a picture of it on screen so you guys can see it. And I really loved it. So when these came out last fall, this new stamps that I'm going to use today, I thought I need to make something with this. And with the holiday card series and everything, I never got around to it. So here we are. We're going to make another Twist Ties card, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So the Twist Ties stamp and die set that I'm using today is the cat Twist Ties. I thought these three cats cuddling were too cute to resist. So it does come with the stamp set and the dies that you need to create the full project. And on the back of the packaging, it has full instructions so you know how to create the card. I'm going to separate those dies, and then I'm going to create my card base. Now I'm going to walk you through creating the card base, but there are card bases, Twist Ties specific, sold by Art Impressions that you can buy if you don't want to create your own card base. So you cut your cardstock to 9.5 wide by 5.5 tall, and then you're going to score it twice. The first score line will be at 2 3/4. And then the next one would be at 7. But as you can see, my score buddy does not go all the way to 7 inches. So the 7-inch mark would be 2.5 inches from the other edge. So that's where I've scored my card. So I'm going to lightly fold these over, but I'm really not going to fold anything over until after I have the stamping and coloring and die cutting complete. So the stamps you'll see have a little L shape at the very bottom. That's to help you line up your stamp directly on the edge of the cardstock. So I actually had to create this twice because the first time I stamped it, I had the stamps too close to the edge and they were tilted a little bit. So I did have to do kind of like a practice run. So I would recommend trying that out if you're using some nice cardstock like I'm using. Save yourself some trouble and do a quick test run just to make sure you have everything down just right. Just use some thin computer paper or something like that. So now I'm stamping the second cat image, once again lining up that bottom L with the other corner. And then I'm going to take these dies and I'm going to very carefully line them up with each of these images on the edges of the card. And they're going to be really close to the stamped lines, the image lines. And so you want to get them in there as close as you can and then tape them so they hold in place. I'm just using some micro pour tape. You could use washi tape or masking tape, just anything that has a low tack to it. So sometimes, or most of the time, every time I've made one of these cards, it doesn't cut all the way to the edge sometimes. So I just go ahead and use some scissors and snip that until it's complete. So now I'm going to fold this and kind of figure out exactly how these twist around each other. And this was kind of fun. The cat on the right side, the arm of the cat is cut out, and that's what wraps around the other two cats. I thought it was too cute. So you'll notice that there's a little bit of an edge on the cats that are on the front. So in order to kind of disguise that edge a little bit and make it look a little bit more finished, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off the space between the edge of the card and also between the edge of the card and the images. So I'm using my scissors and trimming that out. Just a really simple snip just to clean up that edge. And that's going to make it so that as I color the cat on the other side that's underneath these two cats, there won't be any weird white edges in the way. So I'm using Copic markers to do all of my coloring today. Copics are super fast and easy to color with. And I'm not using very many colors today, mostly just grays, a little bit of pink, and then some yellowy orange shades. So this first cat, which is the one that has their arm wrapped around the other, I colored this one to look like my cat Daphne because she is very cuddly and constantly wants to be right next to you or on your lap, or she nuzzles up against you. She's super friendly that way. This yellow cat, I wasn't thinking of any cat in particular when I was coloring it. I just thought it was really cute, and I liked that there was a yellow cat on the packaging for this stamp and die set. I thought it was just a nice color combo. But the third cat, the one that's in the most front, I'm coloring like my cat Sophie, who looks very similar to Daphne, but she has darker coloring. So I'm using some darker grays. And the cat this front cat that's kind of like nuzzling up against the other ones is exactly what Sophie does. If any of you have been with my cats, they have very distinct personalities, and Sophie is the one that nuzzles up against you. She doesn't like to cuddle, but she'll just kind of nuzzle against you. So I'm using a light gray color. This is in a warm gray tone to color the shadows beneath the cats. And then that's pretty much all of the coloring. I'm going to do some ink blending to go on the inside of the card. So I started out with Abandoned Coral Distress Oxide ink. And then I'm going to add some Seedless Preserves just to intensify kind of a more dark purple color near the bottom. And at first I was going to blend out directly from the center, but then I realized that I wanted a little bit of a darker shade coming from the bottom. So I changed my idea and started pulling that Seedless Preserves down, and then I added Chipped Sapphire to the very bottom of this blended area. Going to go back to Seedless Preserves and then eventually back to Abandoned Coral just to finish that off and get a really nice blend. So now I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to make a little mark on the sides of the cats. This is going to let me know exactly on the inside of the card where the cats will be covering up. And then I'm going to do some stamping of the greeting, and I'm testing out this area before I do heat embossing so that I don't have any wet spots in the ink, like anywhere where it hasn't dried yet. So I'm glad I tested it because it wasn't completely dry. So I'll hit this with my heat tool once more just to speed up the drying process. And then I'm also going to use an anti-static powder tool to kind of eliminate any more moist areas or areas that aren't completely dry. I'll just wipe that white powder tool over that area. I'm then going to stamp the greeting from the stamp set, and I'm stamping it in Versamark ink, which is a very sticky ink and it's perfect for heat embossing. So I'll go ahead and stamp that down, and this is going to be directly behind those cats. It will be hidden when you have the card closed. So I'm going to put some white embossing powder over the top of this. This is Alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and I'll tap off the excess and then use a heat tool to heat set that till it's smooth and melted. So I wanted to add some additional hearts around the cats. So I'm using the medium and small outline heart stamps from the stamp set and just adding that on in Versamark ink and then sprinkling on some more embossing powder. Now I stamped quite a few of these hearts, and on the very last heart, you'll see here in a minute, I kind of double stamped by accident, but you know what? It's okay. It's a handmade card. It's not a big deal. And the cat's covered up when it's closed anyway. So that pretty much finishes the card for today. I really love how this turned out with the little twist ties, with that little cat arm coming around. Did want to mention that this is a really, really tight tie between these cats, a really tight twist tie area. So it did take a little bit of maneuvering to get those to work, but once you have it done, it looks absolutely great. And I really love how this turned out. Let me know down in the comments if you love cards like this, interactive little elements and different fun folds. I really love these, and I don't do them very often because they're a little more time consuming, so I really have to like plan ahead, but I love doing them. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, or give this video a thumbs up. That'll let me know. And thanks for watching.